Hi there, my name is Laurel Papworth and I do AI mentoring for government and corporates, mostly executive level, to understand how things are changing in the AI space. And the one I want to talk to today is the confusion around the claw, harness, vertical environment, and operational layer. Because in a sense, that's what you're purchasing and deploying within your organization, the operational layer anyway. The reasoning model is kind of irrelevant in some instances. So let me just go through a few things. When a model, it takes about 18 months to ingest data points and algorithms, and then another year of fine-tuning on top. When that model is then deployed, like version 5 of GPT or something like that, it's already had a few years' work on it. And now it's a closed system. Yes, there's going to be DLMs and SLMs and different things coming out, but for LLMs, large language models, typically they're done. And you have this massive reasoning brain called Claude or Copilot or GPT. And the next layer up is the harness or the claw. And this is where the memory, the tools, the sandbox, a range of things are attached to this universally deployed frontier model. So because Chatgpt doesn't know your business, the ins and outs and the specifics and the changes that happened last week and stuff, you need to add on this claw, also known as a harness, that has inside it what are called markdown files, simple text files that tell it the brand voice, regulations, not to prioritize pricing over human life because AI doesn't have common sense in that area. Anything like that goes into a harness. The vertical environment is often, when I say often, I mean in the last 6 months, is often sold as a complete solution for your industry. So this is where I think there's 20 or 30 different Claude environments. There's Claude for healthcare, Claude for legal, Claude for science, Claude for education. And if we look at ChatGPT, there's GPT for healthcare, GPT for legal, So there are these sort of the full brain of the model, and then there's all the nuanced stuff for that specific vertical has been added in already to make it more suitable, so that when you ask it a question, it's not digging around trying to find out if you're a hairdresser in Wollongong or if you're a doctor in Bathurst. It knows, and it knows specifically what rules and regulations and compliance and voice and where to be careful and, that kind of stuff. If you're looking at a specific harness or specific vertical environment, you're then going to add in an operational layer. And then that one is totally specific to you. So whereas Claude for healthcare is specific to healthcare, your clinic, which could be oncology, it could be, I don't know, what kinds of specialist doctors are there out there? As you can tell, I don't work in healthcare, I work in AI. But if you take all the different specialist doctors and specialist clinics that are working in a specific region and maybe connected to a specific hospital that has particular policies and rules, then you'll need to add in the operational layer that allows you to work in that way. So an example of this would be, there's Claude is the frontier model, the big brain, the reasoning model, and then there's Claude for government on top of that, and then that has all the government stuff and uses government networks and things and connects to government databases and whatever. And then on top of that is Project Maven from Palantir, which is the operational layer, which then allows Claude inside Claude Gov to then work with the Department of Defense or Department of War, however you want to call it. So I want you to think through that, because when people come to you and say, we need to have Claude in our organization, you're probably going to ask them, which Claude? Are you speaking about Claude for healthcare or Claude for legal, which will be obvious? And then what's our operational layer? What do we need to do to make that work inside our organization? I hope this was useful, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.